Well, if you're having a problem you ever using a Lightkeeper Pro, I'm just going to tell you something, another tip. Um, you know, I know they advertise like you put this inside the socket where the string is burned out, pull the trigger, and it should activate one of the shunt with the burnt out bulb, keep the continuity going, and then you'll see the string of lights come on. You'll have like at least one burned out bulb someplace you need to change out, and you'll see what it is. In my case, I had 50 burned out bulbs, and I'll tell you why that is. 50. I actually checked, these are 40 of them. I actually checked each one of them. I was curious about this, not for, this definitely wasn't worth the money to freaking fix them, because I can go over to pay $4 and fix them and spend more money on bulbs than I did just buy a whole nother light set. But I checked each bulb. They were actually burned out. So I was changing them, and I went through 4 sets of these, 40, plus 10 more white ones out of here, the clear ones. And why did they burn out? They were working. I saw some, just last night, I saw some of them burned out. Then I was going to change some of them. I said, well, let me do this first to activate the shunt. And the whole 50 lights out of 100 were off. So I was checking the bulbs, and I says, wait a minute, a lot of them seem like they're burned out. Every single one of them was burned out. Do you know, when you have a 50 light set or a 100 light set, they're 2.5 volts. A 35 light set is 3.5 volt bulbs. Now, when one of them gets burned out, it increases the voltage on the rest of them. Is provided, the shunt kicks in and electricity is still flowing to the rest of the lights. So if you have like 4 burned out bulbs, it increases the voltage to the remaining ones. And since they're already getting older, because some of them already burned out, they'll start burning out much faster because they're already older, plus probably lousy quality, plus they're also they have a lot more voltage going through them, because you got the same voltage load designed for 50 lights now being shared by 45 lights. So then if it gets down, if the electricity is still going through everything with all the shunts closed, the bypass shunts, and so you have 10 burned out bulbs, you're gonna fry the rest of them pretty quick. And that's actually what happened, and it just happened inside of a day. And that's probably a lot of the frustration of probably using this too, because as soon as you have a burned out bulb, you want to fix it. That's it in a nutshell. I'll just tell you that right there. As soon as you have a burned out bulb, you want to fix it. Sometimes when there's one burned out bulb, it looks like a whole bunch of them go out. You use this trigger thing. You put the socket in there, you pull the trigger, it should activate the shunt on the burned out bulb that is causing the electricity not to flow through the light set. And as soon as you get that activated, you want to change that burned out bulb, because as bulbs burn out, it's increasing the voltage through the remaining lights, and those lights are already older. And so, I mean, it's almost like, is it worth fixing them? I don't know. I don't know if it is or isn't. But I was just curious how that worked. I figured I'd put this out here for some information, because I know some people are sometimes frustrated with this shit. Actually, like I said, I was just curious. I said, well, why is this not working? I says, all 50 burned out. All 50. From... Here's another one. I got to change this one, too. See that? I didn't really. That's on the other 50 set, so that's causing the other 50 set to have a little more voltage to go through. But once you get like 5 of them burned out, it's causing a lot more voltage to go through them and decreases the life. So anyway, if you don't change the bulbs, you'll have a problem where the rest of the bulbs will get burned out a lot faster, because it's designed to put a certain amount of voltage through the 50 light set, 2.5 each. So each time you take a bulb that burns out, it burns out and it's going through the shunt, it's dividing the electricity up by less bulbs, so it's increased voltage, and it could fry the rest of them just like that. So that is just going to tell you, a little maintenance goes a long way. So as soon as you see a burned out bulb, change it. And if the whole string goes out all at once, use this thing to get that string back on again with the shunt activator. This sends a charge through the socket. When you put it in the socket, you take the bulb out, you put it in the socket, you pull the trigger. It puts several times sometimes, and that light set will come on. There'll be a burned out bulb or two. Change those, because it's putting a strain on the other ones because they now have increased voltage. So 50 lights burned out just like that inside of a day. 50, all 50. I checked each one of them with this thing on the top just to make sure they were actually burned out. That's part of the 50 that were burned out. What a pain in the ass, but I was curious to find out what the problem is, and I figured I'd just post this information, because if you see one burned out bulb on your Christmas light set, change it, because you're asking for more strain on the remaining bulbs. It's causing more voltage to go through the remaining bulbs, and it'll decrease their life. And once there's several burned out bulbs, there's a lot more voltage going through the remaining bulbs, and then you'll have a whole slew of burned out bulbs, and you can pull this trigger all you want, they're all burned out. You'll have to change all of them, or just get a new set of lights for $5 or some shit. So that's a very helpful hint, and that is probably why some people have not. Most people like this tool, but some people have said they don't like this tool. It didn't work. That is probably why. It's like once it gets to critical mass, and you got, say, 10 out of 50 burned out, the rest of them are going to get fried real quick, because they're already near the end of their life and they've got a lot more voltage going through them. So that is what the problem is. So you see one burned out, fix it. Little maintenance, it will save you some bucks, or save you time or some bullshit. You have to go back to the store and buy new ones or whatever the hell it is.